Good morning guys, Jason Elias here for another weekly safety video. For this week's video, we're actually going to be talking about your harnesses and how to do a proper inspection on those. So step one in this inspection, you want to make sure that you're looking at all your hardware. Okay, that's always step one. That's going to be your buckles, your straps, your back pads, things of that nature. You want to make sure nothing's deformed, broken, damaged, worn down, no burrs, no sharp pieces of metal that you can actually, catch yourself on, or it could actually, cut your lifeline or anything like that. So we want to do a very good inspection on making sure that our buckles are all intact. Okay, all the metal hardware, you want to be able to make sure that these things are going to twist, turn, move as they're supposed to so we can lock it down. Everything moves freely, of its own. Make sure there's no worn or damaged, buckles, hooks. It doesn't get worn down from, continuous use. You also want to make sure that all your other items function, nice and smooth. This one is still in pretty good condition. However, a key point to keep in mind is it was subject to a fall. So regardless of how good a condition it appears to be in, if you have a harness that's subject to a fall, you need to make sure that's taken out of service. So for step two, we want to make sure that we inspect all of our webbing throughout the entire harness, because that's where you're going to see, damaged stitching or loose stitching, frays, different things of that nature. So you want to make sure that you're looking at where all the webbing runs through, kind of pull it back, pull your webbing through a little bit, make sure there's no hidden damage that you can't visibly see or readily see. You want to make sure, check where it loops over, where it runs across itself, where it's folded over, as kind of a strain relief or at least a sign of where it might pop if it is subject to a fall. So you can inspect that prior to putting it on and you know whether that thing's been damaged or not. All right, for step three, we want to make sure that we're looking at all labels, placards, anything that might be on our harness. On this particular one, they kind of keep it in a nice, convenient place right here on the shoulder. So you can open that up, take a look at, your manual, any warnings, any labels, any placards. And then on the back, you're going to notice that there's actually an inspection checklist back here. So you can initial off and date, whenever you do that inspection, so we can keep an accurate track of when the inspections are happening and, what kind of condition it's in or who did it last. So if you're getting this, harness used, you can see who did it last if you know them. Otherwise, if you even don't, you want to make sure you do that thorough inspection, making sure that all that's in place, because that's going to tell you when it's bad due to age as well. So with that, we move into step four, which is inspecting all the other components in your lifeline system. Okay, that's going to be your yo-yos, that's going to be your anchorage points, and you're looking for all the same things. You're going to look for any wears, any damages, any signs that it's not retracting fully, it's not, whatever. You want to do the jerk test, make sure your yo-yo is working properly, and then make sure you inspect all carabiners and attachments as well. Always remember, guys, if your harness is subject to extreme conditions, or if you're welding, you got weld splatter, anything like that, you want to make sure that you're doing increased inspections on that just to keep yourself safe. You don't want something burning through or creating a weakness that you're going to have to find out through that fall. So make sure we're doing these inspections, make sure we're doing them often, at least before each use by the individual, and then once again annually by a second competent person to do that definite inspection to get that second set of eyes, because you're used to looking at this. Let somebody else take a look and see if maybe you missed something. Thank you guys. That's all I have for this week. Let's stay safe and let's keep moving.